name is Matt Slaughton, and I'm a Senior Technical Marketing Engineer here at Nutanix.
And I'm Ron Martin. I'm a Solution Architect from Veeam. Today we're going to be talking about some of the common challenges that are faced in secondary storage and backup, and how Nutanix Mine can eliminate these challenges.
The ability to back up and recover applications and data is essential to all organizations as part of business continuity planning. As a result, most organizations have backup infrastructure in some form or another in their data center. The trouble is, while primary workloads have benefited from hyperconverged infrastructure, secondary storage and backups have remained on legacy or traditional infrastructure.
Before we jump in and discuss what Nutanix Mine with Veeam is, let's spend a minute discussing enterprise backup and the challenges many organizations face today. Oftentimes, traditional backup is slow, results in missed backup windows, and inability to meet defined service level agreements with the business. Many legacy backup solutions are not virtualization or application aware, reducing both the agility and capabilities of IT to restore data and workloads effectively. They can also be complex. All the challenges IT faces with primary workload infrastructure applies to backup infrastructure, with the added layer of managing the backup platform itself. This often results in management silos and specialized teams required to manage the backup solutions.
So what is Nutanix Mine with Veeam, and how can it help solve these issues? Nutanix Mine is a hyperconverged dedicated backup appliance, which combines the benefits of performance and manageability and simplicity of Nutanix hyperconverged infrastructure,
with the robust and industry-proven capabilities of Veeam backup.
Whether those workloads are physical or virtual, or reside in Nutanix or any other virtual environment, anything that Veeam can back up, Nutanix Mine can back up.
So, how can Nutanix Mine with Veeam help you and your organization? It provides fast time to value, as it's simple to size, simple to order, and fast to deploy. The Mine SKUs include both Nutanix and Veeam licenses, or if you already have existing Veeam licenses, they can be optionally excluded.
In most cases, we can deploy the Mine with Veeam appliance in under 2 hours, which means that after racking the appliance in your data center, you can have an enterprise-grade backup solution deployed per Nutanix and Veeam best practices, ready to start backing up VMs, servers, and data all before lunch.
Mine provides unified IT operations. The appliance has a unified dashboard, which captures the health of the appliance itself, storage utilized on the appliance, and the status and real-time logs of your backup jobs.
Mine offers the ability to easily scale as your backup footprint grows. Just like with Nutanix HCI running primary workloads, it supports a pay-as-you-grow model. You can start small and expand as needed. Additionally, you can replicate backups to any S3-compatible object storage, such as Nutanix Objects or Amazon S3.
Mine with Veeam also includes both Nutanix and Veeam's renowned support. We have a cooperative support agreement in place where we can perform warm handover between Nutanix and Veeam should it be needed. So there's no ping-pong back and forth. It's all too common when having to deal with multiple vendors.
Let's take a look at the Mine architecture and how it all fits together. It starts with the Nutanix Mine appliance, available in 2 right-sized form factors. The Mine appliance is a minimum of 4 nodes, but can support larger configurations based on the required backup repository size. We deploy all of the Veeam components required for backup on the appliance itself, including the Veeam Backup and Replication Console, Linux repositories, and Windows proxy VMs, so you can distribute the backup jobs across multiple virtual components and physical disks, ensuring the best possible performance. In fact, we deploy the Veeam repositories using Nutanix volume groups, using the same scale-out architecture we use for business-critical workloads like SAP, Oracle, and Exchange.
And as mentioned earlier, all these components are deployed automatically using Foundation for Mine with Veeam. This ensures that all components are deployed consistently and per Nutanix and Veeam best practices, all with only a few clicks. Nutanix Mine can back up VMs and application data from both Nutanix as well as non-Nutanix environments. This means Nutanix Mine with Veeam can be deployed as a standalone backup solution, even in legacy environments where there is no Nutanix running today.
Now let's take a look at the Nutanix Mine with Veeam console. Here you can see the integrated dashboard, which includes key information such as the health of the Mine cluster, the number of protected VMs, the status of my backup jobs, as well as key Mine and VBR alerts and events. Let's navigate over to the storage view, so you can see how we configure the Nutanix storage and present it to the Veeam repository VMs. Under Table View, you'll see a number of storage containers configured. Here is our backup storage container, which is where the backup repository virtual disks reside. Let's take a look at the volume groups. Here you'll see a number of volume groups configured, although the ones I want to highlight are the VG repository ones. These volume groups are collections of virtual disks which are attached to the Veeam Linux repository VMs. The backup snapshots and files are stored on these virtual disks, and I/O is distributed across them, leveraging the benefits of Nutanix's scale-out architecture. We further distribute backup workloads using Veeam scale-out backup repositories. Let's head over to the VBR console to take a look.
Here within the VBR console, you can see the backup infrastructure configured. Under Manage Servers, we see 2 Windows proxy servers are used to distribute backup jobs, allowing us to back up more single VMs in parallel in a single job. We also see 3 Linux host VMs. These are actually the repository host VMs that present the individual storage extensions back to Veeam. The volume groups we looked at earlier from within Prism are attached to these Linux servers. And lastly, you can see the primary backup server, which is the Veeam backup and replication server that we are now connected to. If I click on Scale-Out repositories, you'll see one configured named Veeam Scale-Out repository. Here you'll see the 3 Veeam repo extents and VMs that we saw earlier, which are used to present the Mine storage to Veeam. So just as we distribute backup I/O across multiple vDisks using volume groups, we further distribute I/O across multiple Veeam repositories using the scale-out repository construct you see here. Let's go ahead and run a backup job so we can get a feel for the performance of the Mine cluster. In this example, I'm going to configure a backup job on a vSphere cluster that's running on Nutanix. I'm going to click on Backup Job, Virtual Machine, and I'll name the job. I'll click Add to select a VM to back up. On the next screen, I'll select our Veeam scale-out repository for the backup repository, and let's configure our restore points for 3 for the purposes of this demo. Let's quickly take a look at the additional options we have under Advanced. We see we can configure our backup mode as well as optional active full backups on a schedule that we define. If we run over to the Storage tab, we can see that we can configure various data reduction options as well as encryption if it's required. The last thing I'd like to highlight under the advanced features is notifications. Here we can configure SNMP or email notifications to be sent whenever the job is run. Let's cancel out of this and finish configuring our backup job. We'll leave the default options for guest processing as well as for schedule for this demo. On the last screen, I'll go ahead and tick the box Run this job when I click Finish to kick off the full backup job. After I click Finish, I can head over and monitor the status of the running backup job. Here, we'll see the Veeam executing the backup job. One item worth noting is that Veeam is analyzing the job and is identifying bottlenecks, in this case the source, that is our vCenter, and not the destination, which is Mine, the Veeam appliance. We'll let this job finish, after which point we'll have a full backup of our vSphere VMs that we can restore from our Mine cluster. If we head back over to the Mine cluster dashboard, we can see that we have one running backup job and our recent VBR alerts and events.
Let's go ahead and back up an AHV VM now. We'll open a new browser tab and head over to the Veeam Availability for Nutanix Appliance, or VAN, to configure that job. After we log in, we see a dashboard for the status of our VAN appliance, as well as any running jobs. We'll navigate to Backup Jobs, then Add to create a new job, just like we did for our VMs managed by vCenter. We'll give the job a name and select a VM from our AHV cluster. We should note that the VAN is able to see our VMs hosted on this AHV cluster, as well as whether those VMs are configured in a Nutanix protection domain or not. We can use Veeam to back up protected and unprotected VMs on the AHV cluster. For this demo, let's select a VM we have configured in a near sync protection domain. We'll select it and choose Add to add it to our job. We'll click Next and ensure we select our Veeam scale-out backup repository, then finish configuring our backup job. Just as we did before, let's check the option to run the backup job when we click Finish. From here, we can monitor the status of our AHV backup job. We should note the processing rate of our AHV VM and how fast the job completes. That's pretty much it. From the Veeam VBR, we can configure backup jobs for vSphere, Hyper-V, or physical infrastructure. And for AHV, we can do the same for the Veeam Availability for Nutanix console. We get all of the great enterprise features Veeam has to offer, along with the simplicity and performance of the underlying Nutanix storage and hyperconverged infrastructure.
So to recap, traditional backup is slow, complex to manage, and results in unnecessary organizational overhead. Nutanix Mine with Veeam provides all the benefits, performance, simplicity, and scalability of Nutanix hyperconverged infrastructure with the power and enterprise-grade features of Veeam Enterprise Backup in one unified package.
It's easy to size, fast to deploy, simple to manage, and maximizes the performance of your backup workloads. Reach out to your local Nutanix or Veeam sales rep today for a live demonstration and for more information on how Nutanix Mine with Veeam can help you and your organization modernize your secondary storage. Thank you for watching.